Hey everyone, today we're going to go through all of the entertainment on board the Symphony of the Seas and tell you what we thought about it. Let's go. Hey everyone, John here from Byte Size Cruises. Welcome to the channel. If you are brand new here, welcome. Great to have you. We're a travel agency. We go on tons of cruises. We are just here trying to give you the best information possible about cruising, so that you can plan and go on an amazing cruise vacation. Today we're going to talk all about the entertainment on board Symphony of the Seas. We recently completed a 7-day sailing on board Symphony that went from lovely Cape Liberty, New Jersey down to Port Canaveral, over to Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and then to Nassau, and then back up the East Coast. So whenever we do these little entertainment roundups, I talk about a few things. One, I'm going to talk about the cruise director and cruise director staff. We're going to talk about the games and things around the ship, the game shows. We're going to talk about the comedians, musicians around the ship, and then last but not least, we're going to talk about production shows, aquatheater shows, ice skating shows, all the big things that go on board Symphony of the Seas. First up, let's talk about the cruise director and the cruise director staff. I thought they were really good. Here's the thing on Oasis class, I sometimes feel like on these larger ships, you lose track of the cruise director and the cruise director staff. They're not everywhere in your face as much as they are on small ships, where I feel like you really get a great feel of your cruise director on a small ship. I feel like they're everywhere. They're at every event that you go to. They're at every show. They're always out and about and you see them everywhere. It's a little bit different on an Oasis class ship. The ship is huge. You don't see them as much. They are at some of the bigger events, of course. But I felt like on this cruise in particular, the cruise director and their staff were really kind of all over the place. I think they did a really good job. Crazy Quest was really fun. We'll get into that in a few minutes. And I thought they did a really, really nice job. Now, there are a bunch of things going on around the ship every day, as you know. There is trivia, which I find that I do more on smaller ships than I do on the larger ships, just because there's more going on the larger ships. You have your scavenger hunt that they do, which is really fun. I highly recommend that. And then they do all of your dance parties, your sail away parties, your theme parties. I think the theme parties are a ton of fun. My only complaint with the theme parties is they were very late at night. So they're at around 11:15, 11:20. I know you may not think that's late at night. For me, it is late at night, so I struggle. I get up really early. So I work on the cruises. I get up at 5-ish in the morning. So it's hard for me to stay up till 11 or 12 o'clock at night all the time. But from the events that I went to, they do a really good job, and those parties are a ton of fun. Next up, let's talk about the musicians going on around the ship. So obviously they play at some of the theme parties, like the pre-70s, pre-80s party, and they will play those types of musics. They usually play in the promenade up on top, across from Sorrento's, basically up on top of the British pub there. The singer in the British pub was great. The Schooner Bar singer was great. He plays like your sing-along piano music. You can request songs, throw some cash up there. They will play them. And then the bands all around the ship that play, and it's generally the same band. You know, they have the band that plays the themes. That band also plays in Dazzles. They do a really good job in Dazzles a lot of the nights, which is like a nightclub-ish little place. And just the music all around the ship was great. The pool deck, all of those things. I thought it was very, very nice. I generally think that's always the case. But you know, sometimes it's hit or miss, and there is a roaming piano player. You will find him all over the ship, sometimes in the elevators. He's all over the place. Keep an eye out for that. That is always a ton of fun. Next up, let's just talk about some of the amenities around the ship from an entertainment standpoint. There are 2 arcades, one in Playmakers, one up on the pool deck. Those are both very fun. Again, not as many like arcade games as they used to have in the past. It's more ticket-based games, like trying to pick things up and do things. They're just trying to get more money, obviously. But those are definitely fun. So next up, let's talk about the game shows. The only game show that I really went to was the Crazy Quest. Sometimes on smaller ships, I go to all the game shows. I'll go to like the Love and Marriage show, if they play Yes or No, if they do a bunch of those things. I'll go to them. On the larger ships, you kind of miss those sometimes unless you seek them out, because there are so many big events going on. So I did go to the Crazy Quest. It was incredible. If you get a chance to go to the Crazy Quest and you're not easily offended, it's not terribly offensive. I don't think it's offensive at all. But if you get easily offended by like risque subjects, or maybe like brief moments of like PG-13-ish kind of nudity or low rated R nudity, you know, might not be for you. But it is a ton of fun and I really enjoy it. It's a highlight of every Royal Caribbean cruise that I go on, so I highly recommend that as well. Next up, let's talk about all of the production shows. Here's the real star of the Oasis class for me, is you have so many shows. First up, let's talk about Hairspray. Hairspray was amazing. I actually watched half one night, half another night. I don't know, for whatever reason on this particular cruise, I didn't have anything going on the first night, so I just like jumped in the like waiting line for Hairspray and I watched the first half of it. And then I was like, all right, I've seen it before, so I'm gonna go grab some food or a snack or something. And then I had tickets, and then I jumped in. I watched the second half of it with my tickets that I had. I just popped in later. There's, you know, you can always get in kind of at the end there. So that was really great. I love Hairspray. I think it's a great show. I'm going back on in just a few weeks, and I will see it again, and I think it's awesome. Next up, let's talk about the Aquatheater show, which is Hiro. It is spectacular. It is not my favorite Aquatheater show, which is Aqua 80s on board the Oasis of the Seas. However, the things that they do on a moving cruise ship, just really, really incredible. It's something you won't see on any other ships in the world other than the Oasis class and now the Icon class. So I think it's incredible. Please go see that if you get a chance. It is really, really fun. And if you sit up front, you are definitely in the splash zone and you will definitely get wet. The performers do a great job of making sure you get wet. Next up, let's talk about the ice shows. There are 2 ice shows on board Symphony of the Seas. One is 1977. It's a pretty good theme. It's a pretty good show. I saw it twice. I went twice. It was great. The performers, it's one of the first times I've ever been to an ice show where there were almost no mistakes, like nobody fell, anything like that. The second time I went, one of the girls got dropped on her head. She was fine. It was just like a slip off. Something just got out of whack and she hit the like railing, but she was okay. Thank God she came back out for her later on in the show, so she was okay. And then they do ISkate 2.0, which is like more of like a freestyle trick show, and that was incredible as well. So both of those shows are amazing. They have drones in them. They have a whole bunch of stuff going on. It is so amazing. I can't recommend the entertainment anymore. You will find amazing things to do every single night of your cruise. Every single day there are tons of things going on. You will never ever run out of things to do unless you just don't want to do things and you'd prefer to relax, which is totally fine. But you have so many options on board the Symphony of the Seas. Hey everyone, John here from the future. I almost forgot to talk about Flight Dare to Dream. That show is incredible. I don't want to give anything away. There's some, fun things that you may or may not know about in the show, but it's a really cool show. The cast is amazing. It's the same cast from Hairspray. They do come back and do that later in the cruise. So you have Hairspray early in the cruise, Flight Dare to Dream in the later segment of the cruise. It's all about aeronautics, the space program, and just goes kind of back and forth between the Wright brothers, whole 9 yards. It's a really, really cool show. One of my favorite secondary shows on Royal Caribbean. Go check it out. It is also really, really good. Go check them all out. Let me know. Not even to mention like the flow rider, the zip line, the water slides, the dry slides, all of those other fun things. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you found this helpful or useful, please like and subscribe. Come along with us on this fun journey. We're heading towards 10,000 subscribers, which is really incredible. We would love to have you join our fun little community. We put out a brand new video about cruising every single day. We go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time with a fun cruise chat and Q&A, and then Sunday mornings I do the cruise news live at 11 a.m. So come hang out, be part of our fun cruise family. We will see everybody tomorrow, and happy cruising. Bye.